What's up, y'all? It's your girl, El Rochelle, the Hardwood Diva, and I'm coming to you Thursday, November 6th for our NFL Week 10 picks. It's been a very good season so far. Things are going a little unexpected, as always, I guess, in the NFL. The teams that we were looking to do very well last year, some aren't doing as well. Seattle kind of falling off. San Francisco's not doing so well. But then you have the teams that always seem to make it, always seem to do well, like the Patriots, who just drubbed Denver this past week. And we're seeing a lot like that. Things happen where there's unexpected teams, your Arizona Cardinals, that just somehow find a way to win every time. The Dallas Cowboys, even with the couple of losses that they've now had in a row, it still is something to be said that they're 6-3. Two of those losses, of course, were without Romo, so there's that. But first up, let's go ahead and get started with this week's games. Thursday, 5:25 tonight, we've got the Cleveland Browns versus the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm going with Cincinnati. Cleveland's had a couple of games here and there where they've done stuff that you didn't expect from them, but Cincinnati is starting to get back to where they were. Expect to see AJ Green, so that's always a plus for their offense. So I'm going with Cincinnati. Sunday, 10 a.m., Tennessee versus Baltimore. Baltimore, that's easy. That's really easy. Tennessee is not doing very well, so there's that. Kansas City versus Buffalo. This was kind of tough for me because Buffalo does play well when they need to, but I just think Kansas City has just kind of more of a very good run game that can kind of pull down Buffalo. It may not be a very high scoring game, but I definitely expect to see Kansas City pull this one out. Miami versus Detroit. Miami's doing a lot, winning a lot of games that we're not expecting. Last week versus the Chargers, they shut the Chargers completely out, 37-0. That was ridiculous. The Chargers, they always manage to do this where they have, like some point in the season, they're doing really well and you're expecting a lot, and then they collapse, or they're horrible in the beginning and then all of a sudden they're really great. Like, they just can't seem to have a consistent season. I need them to have one, but they're on bye this week, so I'm hoping they're getting themselves together because that was horrible to watch. But I don't think Miami will be able to do that versus Detroit. I'm going with Detroit at home. Dallas versus Jacksonville. This game, of course, is in London. Jacksonville always gets stuck playing these London games. They're going to be like London's home team. I don't see Jacksonville winning this one. I see Dallas still getting it. Looks like Tony Romo will likely play this week. So that's good news for us Dallas Cowboys fans. Expect to see them just get back on track with this win and then go into the bye week next week and just kind of chill for a second before they have to come back and start getting into a little more of the nitty-gritty of their schedule. So I'm going with Dallas. San Francisco versus New Orleans. I'm going to go with New Orleans, which sucks because San Francisco needs a win. Especially after last week, that horrible game versus St. Louis, where they lost. But New Orleans is great at home. They just are. So I'm going with New Orleans. Pittsburgh versus New York Jets. Pittsburgh. The Jets, I don't even know. But Pittsburgh? Now Pittsburgh. Ben Roethlisberger has now had 2 straight games with six touchdowns. That's insane. That's like seriously insane. And he's got Antonio Brown. Woo woo, Antonio Brown. Hey, fantasy. So I'm going with Pittsburgh. I don't think the Jets have anybody that can stop the two of those. And Ben just has a lot of weapons. And James Harrison looks great last week. Now that he's back. Troy Polamalu looks good. Like, I mean, this is what we expected to see from the Steelers like 5 years ago, and they're doing well still, so that's awesome. Atlanta versus Tampa Bay. Atlanta. Tampa Bay don't know what they're doing. And Atlanta barely knows what they're doing, but I'm going with Atlanta. 1 p.m. slate of games. Denver versus Oakland. Sorry, Oakland. Y'all not going to get this win. Denver is going to want to come back against, combat against what they did last week. So, unfortunately, Oakland Raiders, you will be the fall boy. And you'll get a win. Even in week 10. St. Louis versus Arizona. Arizona, this is a division rivalry. St. Louis has pulled out some awesome wins, but I just don't see it for them against the Cardinals, who managed to get a win all the time. The only game that they've lost was the first game versus versus San Diego. That's it. So, no, I don't see it for them. I don't see it for them. Go Arizona. There they go. They win it. New York Giants versus Seattle Seahawks. This is at Seattle. Yeah, sorry, New York. It's not going to happen for y'all. Don't see it. Don't see it at all. 5:30 on Sunday. Chicago Bears versus Green Bay Packers. Green Bay. They've got 4 home games in the next 5 games that they play. They're going to slowly sneak up. They're gonna sneak up. Now, of course, they didn't look so well when they played New Orleans a few weeks ago, but they're going to sneak up on them. They're gonna get some folks. Green Bay has one of the best quarterbacks in the league, so you got it. I think they're gonna prove some people wrong. After that slow start, Aaron having to tell people to RELAX, they're doing pretty well. So I'm going with Green Bay. Monday at 5:30 p.m., Carolina versus Philadelphia. This one's tough to pick for the simple fact that, well, Carolina's they're a mediocre team. Cam just needs to step up. I don't know I don't know. They need to put weapons around him. He never has a running back that's healthy. It's just very difficult for him. And I get it. But Philadelphia also, of course, lost their starting quarterback, Nick Foles. And we now are going into the Mark Sanchez era, which, of course, is kind of a joke because he'll never live the butt fumble down in the Jets system. But he did do very well. He led the Jets to 2 AFC championships. And the system he was in wasn't necessarily set up for quarterbacks. It was set up for a run game and just kind of managing the ball. But that's not what Mark Sanchez did when he was at USC. So I think this offense may be better suited for Mark Sanchez. So I'm going with Philadelphia. I think they have the opportunity to get a very good win against Carolina with Mark Sanchez at the helm. So there you have it, folks. If you've got any questions, let me know. I will holler at you later. Deuces.